Okay, let's get it going here on a Thursday. Glad you are with us. It is Longshore and McKnight, but today it's Longshore and Matthews because Barry is with Troy baseball today down in Gainesville, Florida, as they get ready for a regional. The Trojans and the Hurricanes of Miami will get together tomorrow night. So Gurn Sr. nice enough to hop on and pinch hit for Barry, who is tied up today. We appreciate you coming in at such a late notice.
Hey, there is absolutely no truth to the rumor that Barry has been apprehended at the Grog last night and has just been released on his own recognizance.
Yeah.
You know, Barry, being a wild person, has to visit the local essablishments. I think it's the Grog and the something reptile.
Sure.
So you gotta. When in Rome, you got to do as the Romans do. But exciting. I mean, it's exciting for Troy.
Oh yeah.
Exciting for Troy to be in the regionals. It's a big deal. You never know. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you get in one of these regionals and you get hot, and you never know what can happen.
You never know. I mean, the Hornets of Alabama State right here in Montgomery could knock off the Crimson Tide on Friday up in Tuscaloosa. You never know. 5 teams from the state of Alabama are in the baseball tournament. Jacksonville State, Alabama State, Troy, Auburn, Alabama. Quite an accomplishment for baseball here in the state of Alabama. Seems things are certainly looking up in the college baseball world. So certainly excited about that. I know it's going to be a great atmosphere all around the country. Auburn also always shows out at Plainsman Park. Unfortunately, the Tigers have got to play early. There's been a lot of talk about Auburn's game against Milwaukee. That's where Richie Cunningham, Patsy Weber, and Ralph Malf went to school. If you didn't know that, Gurn, from the show Happy Days, when they got out of Riverdale or whatever high school it was, they went to Wisconsin, Milwaukee is where they went to college.
UMW.
Yeah.
UWN. I mean, UWM. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of people wondering why is Auburn playing early. It's similar to the basketball tournament. You want to play early so you'll have more downtime, more rest time, more prep time for your next game. Yes, I'm assuming Auburn's going to win against Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They'll have a little extra time to get ready for their next opponent. So I think that's the reason for that. Not convenient for the fans, but hey, the game on Saturday.
You ever been to Milwaukee?
I have been to Milwaukee. Yes, I have.
I love Milwaukee. I went probably 2 summers ago. I was headed to a golf trip.
Yep.
Up that way, and
Whistling
I flew into
Straits?
Milwaukee. Huh?
Whistling
I did,
Straits?
but I did. But first, before that, did Erin Hills, which is where the U.S. Open was. That was a bucket list day. But yeah, spent a little time in Milwaukee. Really like the town. It's a cool place. Good sports town. Green Bay's not Milwaukee, but it is, not too far away.
I was probably in Milwaukee. I'm trying to do the math, but I would probably say 40 years ago, maybe 37, 38, 40 years ago, spent a Thanksgiving in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
There you go. Well, I used to go to Madison every year I'm a bar examiner for the Alabama State Bar, and we would meet there to learn about the test. And so that was great in the summertime. February, not so much.
Not so much.
But I'll say I've always wanted to go to Camp Randall. I've not been to a game at Wisconsin. I should have gone when Alabama played.
You had your chance.
Had my chance. Madison is a fabulous college town. They love their school, and it's a cool place. And other than the fact it's cold as hell in the wintertime, it's beautiful in the spring and fall. So
it is awesome.
Good place.
It is. Hey, the River Region Straw chat line humming this morning. Dennis Mitchell early today. 6:28 with some bad news. Another wrestler has passed away, Jerry Gray, 62 years young. Sorry to hear that about Jerry. Barry, I'm going to give you a homework assignment. Okay, I'm going to let Barry answer that one later. Jerry Lawler on YouTube. This is unbelievable. Great stuff today, Dennis. No, the Tampa Bay Rays are not going to Orlando, Dennis. No, they're building a new stadium for the Rays. So, no, I don't see that happening. Any other questions? Oh, here's a good one. Bill from Baltimore. How about this one, Gurn? Since your name,
I've already done it. I've already dropped. I've already done the drop.
You got any more?
I just did the Aaron Hills drop. So we're on night number 16. Justin Thomas hit a 3-wood, like 310 yards to hit a green. Nobody could hit.
Yeah.
He did not win that year, but yeah, no, it's a fabulous place. It's it's in the middle of nowhere. It has one member. There's a guy who owns it. So you can get on it.
It's the best way to run a club. One guy.
Yeah, but as one member. So
is this true? Ty says there are more DUIs in Wisconsin than anywhere else in the nation.
Well, there's probably more in Alabama, but less people getting caught.
Oh, okay. All right. And Bill, yes, we know UAB and South Alabama have beaten Alabama in basketball. I'm sure the Tide baseball team's been beaten by somebody, Troy or Jack State or somewhere down the road, but UAB for that matter. I don't believe it's ever happened in football, though. But, man, the chat line is humming today. We appreciate it. Keep them coming on our River Region Straw chat line. I want to hear what you have to say today. We've talked a lot about, obviously, baseball tournaments. We just mentioned that. Bama softball going up against UCLA tomorrow out in Oklahoma City. A lot of media types are thinking the Tide is the team to beat. I can't really say that because I haven't looked at all the other teams that are there. But I did think it was interesting, Gurn. 5 of the 8 teams in the Women's College World Series are from the SEC.
Yeah, you've got a team like Mississippi State.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I don't know that they've ever been. I'd have to check, but I don't think they've been in the modern – recently anyway. And their coach is an Oklahoma grad and played at Oklahoma. So, obviously that's a powerhouse. But you've got, this is going to be a tough game. UCLA puts the ball in the air.
Yeah.
Our pitching has been good. But our bats have been even better. So I think that's going to be a great game to watch. 7:00. I think it's a 7:00 game.
I think so. Yeah. Tomorrow night, tonight. Yeah. I believe it's tonight, isn't it? Yeah, it's tonight.
Yeah, tonight. 7:00 tonight. I checked the weather. A little rain this morning, but it's like 10%, 15%. It's nothing too crazy tonight. You never know when you might get one of those pop-up thunder showers. Not that I'm, a certified meteorologist. I just play one on the YouTube.
Didn't you take weather and atmosphere one semester in school?
I did not. I did take geology one time with Professor Hooks.
Yeah,
I had. I'll tell you my Professor Hooks story. So I go, and it's a class you're supposed to take. You had to have a science. I wasn't a science major. No. I mean, I just had to have the class. So they said, "Hey, don't take it from anybody else. Take it from Dr. Hooks. He's solid. He's a good teacher. He's interesting." And he's not going to burn you. So I said, okay, I'll do that. And you had a lab. And so my lab was taught by a guy that was a teaching assistant, big University of Texas grad, big sports fan. I had to change labs one day because I had something going on. So I went to the other lab. And that lab was completely filled with Alabama football players.
Oh, I think I took that lab.
And so I get there, and we have a quiz. And there was, I'm not going to say, well, it's been 40 years, so I will say this. There was a lot of cheating going on in that lab on that quiz. And the guy sitting next to me, he didn't even take the quiz. He had his headphones on.
Yeah.
And this is spring. And I asked, God bless him, Kerry Good, who was sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
I said, hey, what's the deal with this guy? He goes, he's checked out. He's done. He's just biding his time. He's leaving. And I said, what's his name? He told me his name. The next year, that guy was at Arizona State. 2 years later, that guy was starting for the Oakland Raiders. His name was Anthony Smith. He was a defensive lineman.
Okay.
Barely played at Alabama, but just killed in the NFL. That was my geology lab story with Anthony Smith. I was watching Monday Night Football like 3 years later, and I'm like,
there he is.
Oh my God. I sat next to that guy in the lab.
I had a biology lab with Mike Shula, the former Alabama coach and quarterback. The problem with the biology lab, it was so far away from our fraternity house. It was hard for me to get motivated to walk that far to go to that lab. It was tough.
Well, it probably was half a mile. You're right.
It's a long way.
As the crow flies, you did have to walk across the quad because, maybe crisscross it over some grass. That would be difficult. Yeah. You wouldn't want to get your shoes dirty. I mean, I understand that.
It was a tough pull, but I do remember Mike being in that biology lab.
You would see Mike on campus, and his stories about him were rampant, that he went to mass every day.
Yep.
Every day. I think I went to church only because I was dating a girl that was Episcopalian, and we'd go on Sunday nights. That's about it. I hate to admit that now.
Well, I don't think I darkened the door very often when I was in college either. If I was coming home, that was a different story. But if I was in Tuscaloosa, I hate to admit it, I was usually asleep early on Sunday morning. Ty wants to know an update on former Alabama running back Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, he's out.
Apprehended.
He's posted bond. These situations, you just have to be. You can't go one way or the other. You have to look at. Let the facts play out. There's a lot of anytime you've got these high profile, both ways. You just have to be very careful and just let it go. I mean, I say let it go. Let it go till the authorities deal with it. I'll say who deals with it is the NFL and the teams. So you'll see how they react to it. They're very sensitive to it. And so, I hate it, period. But Josh Jacobs, everything I know about him from a personal level is solid. And I know I've got a mutual friend who knew him when they were there together. And so, he came up in a bad situation and made the best of it. So
unbelievable.
Anyway, we're hoping it all, you just got to let it play out and not really get into the details now.
Yeah, I've always heard that if the cops show up, you're going downtown and then they'll
anytime there's, that is a situation.
They're going downtown and straighten it out from there.
That's the way it should be, actually, if you think about it. It's because there's usually in those situations, there's a situation. There's a situation going on, and it needs to be diffused. So you got to diffuse it, and people, do that. All right. Enough on Josh.
From a political standpoint, what do you think about this Protect College Sports bill, which is being dubbed as the SCORE Act Part 2, or the SCORE Act on steroids? I mean, I heard a lot of talk about it, but most people are thinking it won't get through the House, so we'll be back to where we started.
Look, so I listen to a lot of talk radio. You probably do too, a lot of sports talk radio. And this truly is, I mean, we can laugh all we want to about this being the slow part of the talking season, but this is really a tipping point for all of this is right now. And you're reading about it, and you're seeing people throw out what's called trial balloons. You're seeing SEC coaches. You're seeing, Sankey. You're hearing talk about breaking away. You're talking about something new. You're talking about getting something done in Washington. The bottom line is there's a void of leadership here. I listened to Elko talk in his interviews from Destin.
Yeah.
I like that dude. Is that Coach Elko's? He's right. He's straight up. I tell you, A&M was brilliant getting him. They knew what they were getting when they got him. He's not flashy. He's not a big offensive coach, but he's tough and he's a defensive guy. But when he talks about the fact that there is no leadership, the presidents aren't doing any providing leadership. The coaches aren't providing leadership. They're just sitting there being reactive to everything. And, you know, everybody wants what's best, okay? I tell you what people really want. And when I say people, the coaches and administrators, they don't want kids making $8 million a year.
No, heck no.
They want kids making.
How do they put the toothpaste back in the tube? Well, that's already happened.
By making somebody else do it like Congress.
Yep.
Okay, that's really the only way you can do it. Now, I could say, I don't have a problem with kids getting paid. And 7 figures doesn't bother me. But when you get the same level of contract that somebody might get in the NFL, that, you know, I view it as a minor league model. Okay. This is AA. This is AAA. Maybe you've got a star here or there. Okay. But basically everybody can make a lot of money and get paid and take care of themselves. Okay. So, and to pay all that money and to spend all that money, you got to have rules. You can't have people changing schools every year. You give them a free pass, okay?
Yep,
free pass. You get a year.
Issue, and I'm with you on how much they're getting paid and the transfers and all that kind of business. But when I hear things coming out of Destin that most basketball programs are in the red, they're not making any money. There are schools and there are football teams in the SEC. I think we can guess maybe who, Mississippi State, maybe Arkansas,
Vanderbilt,
that aren't making any money, that they're struggling. When it comes to NIL, when it comes to keeping up with what these other schools are able to do, they're not cutting it. And I'm thinking, wow, man, in the SEC, really? To me, that's troubling. To me, how can you sustain it 5-10 years down the road? Where are those schools going to be? That to me is not a good sign.
Well, everybody's sustaining it because they have to. You know, everybody's complaining about their program not making the playoffs or not advancing far enough in the NCAA tournament or whatever. But yeah, it's not sustainable, but it's sustainable until it's not. And somebody's got to step up. You know,
I'm with you because what is Greg Sankey and the other presidents in this league going to do if we do have a football program in the SEC that just can't cut it, and they don't have the resources?
There's not going to be a football program in the SEC that can't cut it because they're passing out billion-dollar checks. They're passing out big-time checks to the schools.
Well,
because of TV revenue.
Then if the football program makes it, what does that do for the other schools at the the other sports that the football program?
Yeah, you're looking at athletic departments. Yeah, you're looking at athletic departments suffering. So,
yeah. Hey, we need to take our first break of the show. We have Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, coming up in the bottom of the hour in about 12 minutes. We mentioned it yesterday. Don't freak out. Rodney Orr will be on tomorrow. Rodney's got a speaking engagement this morning in Tuscaloosa, so he'll join us tomorrow. We certainly understand that. But Jason will join us at the bottom of the hour, get his thoughts about Auburn hosting a regional, what he's picked up from SEC spring meetings as well, along with a lot of other good conversation about Auburn athletics. We'll do that in about 12 minutes or so. Gurn Sr. sitting in for Barry, who's with Troy Baseball today, and we want to hear from you. You can email us, longshoreandmcknight@gmail.com. Hit the River Region Straw chat line. It is up and running as we speak. More to come. Don't you go anywhere. Back right after this.
The Declaration of Deals sales event ends soon at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume dealer. Rams, 17 grand off or 0% for 5 years. And Gladiators, 11 grand off or 0% financing. Only at Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. The Declaration of Deals sales event ends soon at Stivers, Alabama's #1 volume dealer. Wranglers, 9 grand off or 0% financing. And Grand Cherokees, 8 grand off. Only at Stivers, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Hey, bro, weirdest thing is happening at the game. This guy sitting next to me says, "You're our good luck charm. Every time I crack a Bud Light, we score a touchdown. Now his entire family wants to buy me Bud Lights. I think I'm some kind of a football prophet. Talk soon. The team needs me."
Anything for Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Stock up today. Enjoy responsibly. Copyright 2025 Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Located just 8 miles north of Alabama's state capital, Capitol Hill features 3 18-hole championship courses. With more than 1,500 acres of golf and nature, the pure magnitude of this facility is amazing and allows each course to be drastically different from the others. Capitol Hill also features an innovative 360-degree driving range 400 yards in diameter. Capitol Hill offers a fully stocked pro shop with the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Capitol Hill for tee times and more information. Okay, about 21 minutes past the hour here on a Thursday. Glad you're with us. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. And know that you can always check us out on your schedule. We produce the show live every weekday morning from 7 until 9. Put it in the can at 9, and you can pull it up and watch it or listen to it or both at your leisure when it's convenient for you. That's the beauty of this format. You can check us out at Yellowhammer News and yellowhammernews.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, X, Spotify, Instagram, iTunes, all over the place. And we really appreciate that. And keep the cards and letters coming. We appreciate it. Your thoughts about Amari Allen returning to Alabama basketball? I know you're a big hoops guy. Ooh, we got to hit that volume. He's like Barry.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I promise you, Nate Oates was dancing a jig last night. He might have. I don't know if he's a drinking man, but he might have had a couple of pops.
Yeah.
Because when you say that's huge, you can't go out and find anybody in the portal that's anywhere near the level of Amari Allen, except for I think there's a guy, foreign guy from Iowa State that pulled out of the NBA draft as well. But he's going to get paid big time for 4 different schools that are looking at him. So yeah, no, this is going to be huge. It'll be interesting. I tell you what he's done well as a coach is put players together, and they don't stay. Some stay.
Yeah.
But in reality, I mean, Sherrell's gone. He's at Indiana now. That's one I never thought would leave because, my God, we boosted him up. We turned him into a chump as a freshman to a kid that noticeably got better as a sophomore in his system. And I will say, I saw him coming out this year and having a huge year for Alabama, shooting threes, playing better and going to the NBA. I mean, Indiana's fine, but they haven't been relevant for a while. And they've got a decent coach. He came over, they just got him last year and he brought his son. But, I don't know. Amari Allen, big deal. And Aiden Holloway's back. I mean, I don't care what you say.
Well, that was going to be my next question.
There's no look, you would have heard something different. He's back and he's on the team and he's shooting from the logos.
Yeah.
So John, there was a guy from Walker County back in our day maybe a little past our day. He went to junior college. I can't even remember where he went to junior college. And then he ended up at an SEC program and from Jasper. Okay. And he ended up at Arkansas. And this guy's name was Al Dillard. Okay.
Al Dillard. Okay.
Only the purest of purists would remember Al Dillard.
Yeah.
I bet Bart Heights will remember Al Dillard because they said he would shoot it from the snout. So the logo, the logo at Bud Walton is the big Razorback. Al Dillard had range, as they might say. Yeah. He and Aiden Holloway have about the same range.
Okay.
They can fill it up
I'm with
everywhere.
You, and I'm sure you heard similar weeks ago about Aiden Holloway. Heard how some of the investigation was going, and heard that there was a fairly good chance he would be back. And, fine, that's okay, no problem. Are they going to have to maybe train him, teach him, coach him how to handle road games in the SEC? Because you got to know those student sections are going to be all over him when they head to Knoxville and Athens and Auburn and Baton Rouge.
It's just like going back to Auburn. I mean, it's just going to be doing that every time. Look, these kids some people feed off of it. I don't see it being a problem.
Yeah.
This is going to be it's always interesting what Oates does with these teams. Look, he could fall flat. I mean, we could go 500 in the SEC because it could be a horrible locker room. There may be, you're throwing all these people together. He's getting good talent, and what he's done is get really good young talent, even though it may go. I don't know who's going to be. I don't know if Holloway's going to be the main ball handler. You got to have somebody who can get the ball and work it. So maybe we got a freshman that's, that can do that, but a freshman's a freshman. So,
you're asking a lot.
It's I don't know. I'm a big Nate Oates fan because I've watched what he has done as a coach in this era. And he may never win a national championship, but he's made Alabama relevant. Just like Bruce Pearl. Bruce Pearl made Auburn relevant. That's a lot. That's a lot to do for schools that are, traditional football schools.
Well, and I'm with you. I think Nate Oates has taken Alabama basketball to, places, we've never seen, obviously. Final Four and Final Eights, things like that. But I'm with you. It's exciting, and there's more people interested in it, watching it. I've said it before. I don't remember a time in January and February when somebody goes, can't do that Tuesday night, Bama basketball at 7 o'clock.
I don't know. I plan my Tuesdays and Wednesdays accordingly. If it's a 6 o'clock game, I'm not playing pickleball after work.
Yeah.
I will watch. I will watch. I will watch it. I will plan my night around watching it because it's good basketball. It's fun to watch, and they score the ball, and And SEC, I watch the SEC because the play is generally good.
Sure.
Top to bottom.
But it's a lot. It's a lot. There's more interest in it now. More people talking about it. Not the. I mean, I've always known you as a basketball fan for as long as I've known you. There are more basketball fans out there now than there ever were back in the day. And just people didn't plan their nights around it in the weeknights. Now they do.
I tell you what's been the best thing for all of this is the SEC network.
Sure. Oh, no doubt.
You get exposure to games. You watch SEC Now? Do you watch that?
I do. Yeah.
I do. I mean, I watch it, and they've got good talent. The basketball stuff is, I would argue, the basketball group is as good or better as the football group.
They're good.
Because they've got some really good just people, Ron Slay and these other guys, and I mean they know the game. They can see it from a different level. And look, football, they're good too. I mean, but football's football. We know more about football than we do basketball. But I watch it, Dari and all those guys. I mean, they do a very good job. Now, why they're in Charlotte, I don't know.
I can tell you why the SEC network is in Charlotte, and you would think they would have moved by now. But when they launched ESPNU, which I still think is a channel, I guess. Matter of fact, I think it's going to see Auburn.
No, that's where you watch the first 10 minutes of a basketball game.
Yeah. When they launched ESPNU, they launched it in Charlotte. That's where ESPNU was based. They moved it back to Bristol, but before they moved it back to Bristol, the SEC network was there as well. So now the SEC network is just taking over the old ESPNU facility.
I can tell you why they're in Charlotte without even knowing why they're in Charlotte. And you, of all people, would know that. Why is that? Because everywhere flies to Charlotte.
Well, true. Yeah. I mean,
you can get in and out. You can get your talent from wherever they live.
No doubt.
And get in and out of there.
No doubt. No doubt about it. Yep, that is definitely. Those guys are hopping around everywhere. All right, speaking of hopping around, our friend Jason Caldwell, Auburn Undercover, hopping on with us here as he does each and every Thursday. Jason, thank you for joining us here today. Barry is with Troy Baseball today as they're down in Gainesville getting ready for a game against the Miami Hurricanes tomorrow. So it's Longshore and Matthews today here in Barry's absence. But there's a big series over in Auburn as well. And I know there's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of buzz. Your thoughts about Auburn hosting this regional and the teams that are there?
Yeah, no, you always, this time of year, the first thing you do is hope you can bypass weather. And 2 days ago, it didn't look real good for tomorrow, and looking a little bit better now. So hopefully the weather will hold off. Auburn did actually request when they put in their bid, they requested for the night game. But the NCAA said that NC State UCF was one of the better games to put on TV. So that meant they put that game on TV at 5 o'clock, which meant, hey, Auburn, sorry, you're playing at noon on the first day. So Auburn gets the early game tomorrow, which gives you a little bit more rest time and hopefully can avoid more weather. So it may work out in Auburn's favor. But
and that's interesting, Jason, because I just assumed it was kind of like the SEC basketball tournament. I mean, the higher seeds want to play early for more rest time, more prep time, more downtime. And if you play early, you get that because you could be playing, 8, 9 o'clock at night due to weather.
Yeah, no, some teams do like to do that. I know that's the way Florida State has kind of always done in Tallahassee because of the weather. Auburn wanted to play at night because you get more crowd. You have more people there. So you kind of figure out first day. But if you win, you'll have a 7 o'clock game on Saturday night, which would then give you plenty of crowd time there. But no, this was just an NCAA decision. They decided they wanted that second game for TV purposes. So Auburn will go first. And I think it's about half of the teams that are hosting will be playing the early game. So, you look at it and, I know the numbers. I saw somebody put a thing out. Said the numbers say this is one of the easier regionals, but one of the reasons is because Milwaukee's like 238. You look at the other two, and UCF is 19-11 in the Big 12. NC State always a pretty good team, and you're facing a team with a coach retiring at the end of the year, so they'll have a little bit extra motivation too. So Milwaukee. They beat Wright State twice in their conference tournament. Wright State's been pretty good recently. So you're facing a team that just won a conference tournament that has nothing to lose. And then, the other side, you get two power 4 opponents. So like every regional, there's going to be challenges built in no matter who you play. So if you're Auburn, probably the first thing you hope is to avoid weather interruptions to impact your pitching staff, because you feel like if your 3 starters can roll out there and pitch, you'll have a pretty good opportunity this weekend.
Is there something about this Milwaukee team, Jason, that stands out? Pitching, hitting, something like that?
Yeah, it's probably pitching. I mean, probably hitting. Excuse me, a little bit. You look at them and they got a couple of guys with, I think, 12 home runs. And they swung the bat and did a pretty good job of doing it. Down the stretch especially, but got a couple of guys that can swing it, but hit a walk-off home run to win, their thing. And so, I think they were only 1-10 or 1-11 against Power 4 opponents this year. However, so they played at LSU early in the season. Of course, LSU early in the year was probably a much different team than the one that limped home to the finish line this year too. So they faced a pretty good LSU team early in the season and played a couple more opponents. But this is one that this time of year you don't know because you're facing somebody's number one. Do you find a guy that gets hot or is a good matchup or whatever? Those are things you always hope you avoid in an NCAA tournament game.
Jason, the SEC spring meeting's going on down in Destin this week. Anything coming out of there that's really caught your attention that you've kind of looked into?
No, I thought maybe the only interesting thing was people talking about that. There's probably a bunch of coaches that aren't happy that they agreed to 9 games and because they thought it was going to mean more playoff teams. And all of a sudden they go, oh, no, that's not going to happen because this other league don't want to do that either.
Yeah.
That's probably it. And how it's going to impact schedules. There are going to be a lot of people that are going to be really unhappy if these non-conference games get canned. And it changes how – and look, if it stays the way it is and the playoff doesn't expand, that game could be the difference between you getting in the playoffs or not. Because we just saw, look, Indiana just made it, won a national championship, didn't play anybody in the non-conference. So right now, is that if I'm a school right now, as bad as I hate to say it, if we're not expanding playoffs, then I'm not playing those games because it will be the difference between you getting in the playoffs or not. I don't care strength of schedule, whatever it is. If somebody's 11-1 and you're 9-3, they're gonna get in. And that's the thing I hate about it right now is, look, it's to me it feels fairly simple to go to 16. I don't really know why the Big 12 the Big 10 is insisting on 24. But look, just take the next step and then see what happens. But apparently nothing right now. Really,
yeah, I heard some grumbling, and you hit on it, Jason, that these coaches were okay. We're going to 9, and we're expanding the playoff, and it was kind of they were both a package deal.
Yeah,
well, they've gone to 9, but they haven't expanded it to 16. So I certainly get the concern there, and I'm with you. I would be unhappy if some of these non-conference games did not ever materialize. I mean, I grew up with some great non-conference games, and I want to keep them going. I love the conference games, but I like the big-time non-cons too.
Yeah, to me, it feels like in every facet of this that the future of the sport isn't being thought about. All that's being thought about is money.
Yeah.
And it's felt like that for a long time. But for the future of this sport, you need to have those games.
Totally agree.
Need to see Auburn playing Notre Dame and Alabama playing Ohio State. Like, you need to see that.
Yep.
If not, then it's going to absolutely feel like the NFL, which is fine. It's a great model. But to do that, then you're going to have to go, okay, well, then we're just going to blow it all up and play 48-team playoffs and do all that because you're going to have to see some other games to figure out a way to separate teams, in my opinion.
One statement that kind of hit me earlier this week, some athletic directors were reported to have commented that, look, we're spending $30-40 million in NIL. We don't want to go to the Citrus Bowl. We want to be in the playoff. So is that where the 24-team drumbeat's coming? That, hey, man, we're spending all this money, and our donors and our fans, they want to be in the playoff. We got to expand it.
Yeah, and I think, look, we've seen it. This, I think I've told you before, I'd already made the decision that if it wasn't a playoff bowl game, the days of me going 3 or 4 days early to cover practice and do all that stuff were over with because people don't care. Players don't really care.
Yeah.
Not sure coaches care much either. And so I see it and I believe it. And that's the thing. If you're not in a playoff game right now, then in the grand scheme of things, you go, okay, what's the end game for that game? Why are you playing it? It's just because ESPN needs a game on TV. That's why you're playing the game. And I hate to say that because I love bowl games. I've always loved them. But now they don't really serve a purpose. And I said, to me, it's just, I know what Greg Sankey says, just like the SEC championship game. But he's like, we got a contract. Well, it feels like that's the only reason he's saying they're playing the game is because they contracted to play it. Nobody wants to play that game either because it doesn't serve a purpose now. Because if you're in the SEC championship game, both those teams go into playoffs. Only thing that could happen in that game is a negative.
Jason, would it make sense to have to split up Division I into two FCS models? I mean, and make your bowl games, let them be playoff games under both. I mean, you could have the Gasparilla Bowl be part of the, say, Tier 2, Tier 1, Tier 2. But my gosh, there are teams that are – Coastal Carolina is never going to win a national championship.
Correct.
They could win a national championship in a Tier 2.
Yeah. No, I've said the same thing for years.
It doesn't make any sense to beat your head against the wall and not have a chance to win. I mean, sure, it's great to win your conference, but that's it. That's all you got. And then if you even if you had 4 spots for the others, I don't know. It just seems like you could really generate more revenue and interest by getting more games of good teams playing for something.
I agree.
And you think ESPN would want to gravitate to that, or Fox or whoever, and get more product, because that's what they need. They need product so they can sell advertising.
No, I agree. I think at a minimum, if you did 16-team playoff on one side, created a 16-team G5 playoff on the other side, and had 8 campus games, and then you could have 4, 2, and 1. So you'd have 14 bowl games that you could play, and the Outback Bowl could be your national championship game for that group of 5. You get to go to Tampa. You finish and start the week of the conference championship games. Those are your on-campus playoff games, and finish January the 3rd. Be done. All of it. There's no need to be playing college football games now into February or January the 30th. I mean, get it done. You move on to the next season. You're signing all those things you need to do. The first thing that has to happen is we have to get back to a calendar in college sports. We've got to figure out a way to have a calendar that separates sports. This is your season. We don't have seasons anymore. There's not a season for any sport now. It's just, I'm still seeing basketball players that just had decided to come back to school, and now they got to go in the portal, or they're in the portal. They're taking their name out of the draft, and now the bidding war starts for teams. It's almost June.
Yeah.
Got to figure out a way to create an actual calendar so sports can have separation, and then got to fix the transfer part of things. I don't think the money's going anywhere right now until they become employees, but you got to figure out a way to actually have a roster too. And those are ways to start that, I believe, is to finish a season, get it done. And I completely agree.
So is Chad Baker Mazzara going to get his 9th year?
Is he trying? I have no idea. I mean, that's a name that honestly, as soon as I see it pop up on my feed, I just moved on to the next. I'm tired of.
I think there are a lot of people in Auburn who do the same thing.
But no, I completely agree. It would be really difficult for me to play and to work and to grind for a season when in my heart of hearts I knew I couldn't win a championship.
Yeah.
And now you have that for the vast majority of teams in this country.
And Barry and I have talked about this a lot, Jason, and I get it. I mean, the Troys of the world want a seat at the table, but in reality, this is Gurn mentioned, they're not going to win a national championship. So you get the group of 5 together and let them do their own thing. To me, it's a lot, you can sell it a lot easier to your fan base, to your conferences. You're engaged, you're playing for something. There's still some excitement. There's still some hope. And you get a network, whomever it is, to televise these games in the group of 5. To me, I think that's really the only avenue that they've got is to do something like that to keep them engaged. speaking of being engaged and staying with it, one of the other things I've heard out of Destin this week is, well, if we have a 24-team playoff, you're going to have teams, sitting players down. They're not going to participate in the last 2 or 3 games of the year because they know they're in. I've never been a believer of that because to me, isn't it all about seeding and wanting to get the best seed you can possibly get and maybe, a couple of home games on campus? I mean, I don't see teams packing it in just because they've made the playoff.
No, I agree because it's different than the NFL. The NFL, when a team is 15-0 and they know no matter what, they got home field advantage all the way through, that's different. Well, college football is not going to work that way. You're still going to have to be seeded, and that's going to be the entire body of work. And so I don't know. I just think it makes a lot of sense to do it. I think, to me, 16 is the right number because I don't like buys. I don't think everybody needs to be playing.
Yep.
And I think you could put 8 games on campus. You're talking about a blockbuster Friday night, Saturday of 8 campus playoff games. Here's the thing. I'm as traditionalist as anybody. I don't want to see things change, but it's over. It's not coming back. And to me, you got to figure out a way to make it work. To me, this is the thing. I don't necessarily want 24, but I don't like buys. I don't think teams should be sitting at home.
Yeah.
And when you're one of the best 8 teams in the country, you should be playing a home playoff game. That's the way it works. And so I think the way to make that work is to be 16 teams.
Looking ahead, Jason, to me, wow, it looks like Auburn got a really good draw in terms of their first 3 games this season. Get a 2:30 for their opener, and then they got a couple of night games, a little different from what Arkansas got. We're going to get into that a little later, but, man, you got to like those kickoff times for Auburn's first couple of 3 games.
Yeah, you get a chance to play a couple of night games and get Florida at home at night, which is good. And so, it's about as good as you can hope for. I saw, Texas gets a couple of 2:30 games, and that again shows me how out of touch TV is. That we want to put Texas on TV, but it's going to be 1,400 degrees in Austin, Texas. The first weekend of September. That's not ideal to go out there and have a football game. But no, I think Auburn got to look. It's about as good as you can hope for to start the season. And it feels strange to be talking about football kickoff times this early, but I'm kind of glad we get a little taste of it early in the season. And, hey, the other part, we've seen, and it's crazy though, the sport that has the most flexibility in baseball is the one they set earliest with first pitch times and all these things on TV. And then the sport that has the least flexibility in football, they wait until 10 days before you kick off to figure out. But go ahead and set the times and then figure out the TV networks later. Yeah. There's enough TV channels now. Just put all the games when you want to put them, then figure out which network they're on and go with it. And let people have some travel plans made.
So I'm not a businessman, but if I'm a businessman in Auburn this weekend, I'm going out and figuring out what to do during rain delays because the weather looks horrible for the regional. So if I'm the bars, if they let people out of the stadium, I'm reaching out and I'm getting them over to my place to watch the other games because I hate a rain delay. It's like being in an airport and your flight getting delayed or something like that. There's nothing you can do about it. So
I looked actually this morning. So put a little weather blurb in my notebook last night, and about 10 o'clock last night it was 70%. Now tomorrow at noon is 24%.
Ooh, well, that's good.
So it's coming
down. But then it gets. Well, I think it gets worse in the afternoon. So that's not good for.
It's
NC State.
54% at like 4 o'clock, 51%. But yesterday at one point it was 100%, and so it's come down a little bit, thankfully. I think that's probably one of the reasons why you'd rather play at noon is to.
And that's a great point because it rained about 2:30 yesterday afternoon. I was planning on cutting the grass late yesterday afternoon. I went, those plans got washed out. Then the next thing you know, the sun's out, and I got the mower out there at 6 o'clock last night. It was great.
Good to be at home, though. Good.
Yeah.
It's better to be at your place than in a hotel room somewhere.
It's better to be there than in Tallahassee waiting out the what you know is going to happen, which is going to be a rain delay. I would imagine Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Of course, they have turf, but you're still going to have delays pretty much everywhere across the South. It's the last weekend of May. This is what you expected in baseball regionals.
So I'm just curious if you're Florida hosting, Auburn hosting, Southern Miss, Alabama. I guess you can go back into your clubhouse at the stadium. Where do the other teams go?
Yeah, they have, for Auburn, they have the indoor hitting facility. So they can go down there and stretch out. If you're during a game, that's what normally happens. They stop it early enough that they go down to the indoor hitting facility, can stretch out, can lay around and have some room. And so you do have some opportunities to do that. If not, like normally, if they know, look, I've seen it happen before. If they know, look, this thing's here and it's going to be 2 hours before we play again, they'll hop on a bus and go back to the hotel, and then they'll call them, hey, we're playing we're going to try to restart at 5 o'clock, and then they'll go get off their feet a little bit. So it kind of depends on how much weather they think is coming as to how long they have guys sit around.
Very interesting. Well, just be aware of that this weekend because there should be some rain here and there popping around. Hey, Jason, before we let you go, man, great as always, great insight and analysis. How can our viewers and listeners check out more of what you're doing there at Auburn Undercover and follow you throughout the day?
Yeah, no, it's it's a lot going on, and it's crazy how different this world is that we didn't mention. Like they have like 15 official visits for football. We're just talking about that calendar.
Oh, yeah.
That's how crazy this calendar is. That there's official football visitors this weekend and starting through the month of June. So Christian Clemente will be all over that. So you can check that out. Obviously, baseball regional, whole lot going on. Men's golf getting ready to ramp it up in California to try to win a second championship in 3 years. So you can find all that at auburnundercover.com, all our social media platforms, and all those things as well.
How things have changed, Jason. You're exactly right. I mean, back in the day, the football visits would have dominated the conversation. It's amazing.
Of course, we never had them in May, though, so we don't know exactly how that would have happened either, but here we are.
Hey, man, have a great weekend. Stay dry. We greatly appreciate it. We'll talk next week.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you, man. Great conversation there with Jason Caldwell. Always is from Auburn.
Always good.
Yeah, great stuff there. Great insight as well. We want to get your thoughts about it. The River Region Straw chat line is hopping. We're going to get to that. We've got several other topics we're going to get to. Ooh, maybe the Phantom's Daily Dog, too. Man, we might need to go to Phantom Daily Dog Rehab. It's been pretty tough lately. Well, we'll gut it out. We do need to take a break, though. We're a little late for one, so let's take a break here at this juncture. Just to let you know, I already see it on the River Region Straw chat line. Yes, Rodney will be here tomorrow, not today. He's got a speaking engagement. So Rodney will join us tomorrow at the top of hour number 2. I hope that doesn't mess up anybody's plans. It's still sponsored by the Destin Connection Seafood Market. Freshest seafood direct from the Gulf of America, arriving daily here in Montgomery. And you can check it out. Had a friend of mine up the street, bought some triple tail from Destin Connection just the other day. So great stuff there. We'll do that tomorrow, but Gurn and I will be back right after this quick timeout.
Phoenix Physical Therapy is ready to help patients recover, recharge, and rise. They develop a customized therapy plan for each patient to get them back to enjoying their favorite activities. Their experienced team is committed to providing exceptional care in a professional environment. Whether you're looking to prevent or treat an injury, recover from a recent illness, or recuperate from surgery, schedule an appointment with our clinic and take advantage of our physical therapy, athletic training, workers' comp, and employer solutions service. Experience elevated physical therapy today. Call Phoenix Physical Therapy at 239-9316. That's 239-9316.
Drive away in a port.
Why Hands? At Hands Heating and Air, you get this area's highest ranked service provider with 24-hour repair service, no overtime charges, and their same-day service guarantee. Plus, instead of other companies' 30-day repair warranty, Hands gives you a 3-year repair warranty. Hands Heating and Air is here for you 24/7, 365. And service is not just something they do, it's their way of operating, for you in mind. All of Hands employees are trained to adhere to this standard. They work hard to ensure that this standard is maintained, and they are constantly looking for new ways to better serve you. Call Hands Heating and Air today at 508-5382. That's 508-5382, or find them on the web at 834hands.com.
Big news for
Why Hands?
Big news for Central Alabama travelers. Getting to Texas just got easier. You can now fly nonstop from Montgomery to Houston with United Airlines. No long drives, no layovers, just smooth direct travel from your hometown airport. Whether it's business or a weekend getaway, Houston is now just one flight away. Spend more time there and less time getting there. Fly nonstop to Houston. Fly MGM, where travel feels easy. Book your trip today at flymgm.com.
Drive away in a Ford F-150 or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Truck and 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Drawings May 29th and 30th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
All right, that's this weekend, the Truck and Buck giveaway out at Victoryland, where you can be a winner too. The more you visit Victoryland, the better your chances of winning. And there are going to be some big winners this weekend, always are, at Victoryland, where you can be a winner too. We'll do the Victoryland 777 topic wheel, in about 45 minutes or so from now, here on the program in hour number 2. We touched on it a little bit with Jason about kickoff times. The first 3 weeks of the SEC college season, the kickoff times have been announced, which I'm a big I like to plan ahead. Jason mentioned that 6-day window that they have still in place. It can kind of affect some travel plans from time to time, particularly later in the season. But we do know what the first 3 weeks will bring us. I'll start with Arkansas. There was a lot of talk about their schedule and their TV times, and the Hogs play week 2 at Utah in Salt Lake City. I think that's Mountain Time. I don't think that's Pacific Time in Utah. I could be wrong about that. I need to double check, but I think Salt Lake City's in Mountain Time, but nonetheless.
That's Mountain Time. You're right.
That is a 9:15 Central start, which would be 8:15 there. And they're not real happy about having a late start in Salt Lake, then flying back, and then the next week, 11 a.m. kick, hosting the Georgia Bulldogs.
That's poor scheduling on the Arkansas AD's part to even schedule Utah. Why do you schedule a team like Utah? They're good.
They are good. Arkansas played Notre Dame, I believe, last year and got embarrassed. I think the Irish put 60 on them. I'm with you. Arkansas could have scheduled somebody other than Utah. I mean, Alabama fans know all they want about Utah in the Sugar Bowl. And Saban's
my story. I went with one of our sponsors to the game, and I went to go get a Bud Light, and by the time I got back, we were down 21-0.
Yeah. Well, I didn't get to the stadium till Alabama was down 21-0. I lost track of time. I was in the quarter, and those establishments are kind of dark. It's like a casino. They're dark. There's no clocks on the wall.
Pumping oxygen in.
Yeah, you don't really know what time it is, and I was a little late for kickoff for the Bama-Utah game, and Bama was down big when I arrived, and I went, oh, wow, I should have stayed in the quarter. But, I guess Utah will come to Fayetteville the next year. To me, I'm a big non-conference guy, but I'm very snooty and picky about who I want to play non-conference. I don't think Utah's a team I want to play. I'm thinking
they're not as marquee, but they're damn good.
They're good. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I've been to Salt Lake City. I've never seen the campus.
I've been on campus. It's a beautiful campus.
When you fly into Salt Lake City, more times than not, because I've seen it looking out the window of the airplane, you do fly over BYU. And you see the football. You see the football stadium.
Yeah.
When you fly into Salt Lake City,
flying through the Wasatch Mountains.
Yeah, it's a beautiful area out there. It's a neat airport too. Salt Lake City's got a good airport. But man, now Auburn fans can remember that when they went to Berkeley and played Cal at 10:00 at night. I remember that game because I stayed up till the final horn. It was tight late, but Auburn pulled it out, and I remember the game ending at 12:57 Central Time.
Yep.
A.M. Yep. 12:57 a.m. on Sunday morning when Auburn played Cal. And I remember Freeze talking about it maybe later on in the season about you just don't want to go to the West Coast and play a night game. And I guess that's the chance you're taking. I mean, it could happen that you're going to play at night if you go to the West Coast. Auburn played Southern Cal. It was in the afternoon in the L.A. Coliseum. I know Alabama's been out there and played in the afternoon in California as well, and it's easier to get back, I guess. I mean, you're playing a night game, and then you got to fly home. I guess Auburn probably did not get back to campus until about 8 o'clock Sunday morning at the earliest.
So I had two sets of Auburn friends go to that game, and they did it right. They flew out Thursday, maybe about noonish from Atlanta.
Yeah.
They got to San Francisco. They then went to the wine country, had dinner on Thursday night, was able to make it to dinner. Then they had all day Friday and really almost all day Saturday in the wine country to booze it up. They took a limo or transportation back to Cal, went to the game, popped into just a hotel room, and then back on the airplane Sunday coming back. I mean, it was that's a great football weekend right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you're a little tired coming back because you lose time coming back, but still. That's a good weekend.
When Bama got embarrassed by Clemson in the national championship game in San Jose, I flew back after the game. Actually was in the studio in Montgomery doing the radio show the next morning. Flew all the way all night, got back home, went straight down there to network control at 1 Commerce Street and recapped that fiasco that took place 8 hours earlier. So, yeah, it can be done, and it is makes for a long day. Couple of things here. No, Bill, I was not in the driveway listening to the Auburn game in my car. I actually was watching it on TV. I believe I was in my bedroom. I was in bed about to go to sleep and watch the conclusion of that Auburn-Cal game. But I get your drift, Bill. Normally I would have been in the car listening to Andy and the crew on the Auburn network. Also, Bob from Pike Road. Is this Bob or is this Chris the Bammer? Can't get him confused. It was an exhibition game. Well, I get it. They weren't playing for the national title. Didn't mean anything. Big deal. So what? Same thing about Alabama, Oklahoma in the Sugar Bowl when that lady tried to, it was like a stage dive. She jumped from my row to 3 rows in front of her because this guy wouldn't shut up and was annoying her and picking at her the whole game. And she'd had enough. Probably the 8 or 9 Bud Lights she consumed during the game had a little something to do with it.
She went Clark Kent. She went Clark Kent on him.
It was a great fight. As a matter of fact, we had some video of that back in the day of this woman, and she was going at it. And, of course, the New Orleans Finest came up there and removed her from the scene. And it was tough. I mean, Bama was not playing well. Oklahoma was beating the Tide pretty bad. I'm not saying all of the – I think she'd had something else beside that beer before she came to the game. So I think she was pretty well lubricated before she
might have had a few Bloody Marys or something.
Yeah. I think, well, this was a night game. So I think she probably had been, partaking all afternoon and continued on there at the game. But, man, she feared nothing. I mean, she felt – what's that Travis Tritt song, 10 Feet Tall and Bulletproof? That's what she was feeling that night. Probably felt a little different the next morning when she woke up in the NOLA jail. But great memory of that game, even though the football was not that great if you were a Tide fan. Theoda says Utah State looks like a housing project. Theoda's Troy plays at Utah State this year.
I think they're the Aggies. Are they the Aggies?
I think they are the Aggies. Yeah. Utah State. Troy's playing Utah State this year on the road. Is this a good or bad thing that Utah only has 5 national parks? Is that a
no, that's number? Great. No, Utah is one of the greatest landscapes of all the United States.
Oh, you got the deserts in the south. You got the ski resorts in the north.
You got the mountains. You've got. Yeah. I mean, it's the real. There's nothing better than Little Cottonwood Canyon in the wintertime going up to either Solitude or Brighton. I mean, it's just fabulous.
Gurn, I had a friend years ago that actually had a condo out there that he shared with a couple of other people that I got to use.
Yeah, I don't really know who that. I don't know who that was.
I wish that guy still had that condo. Man, that sure was convenient. Matter of fact, I don't know.
It was, and that was an interesting story, John, and that was a weird. I tell this story because it is so bizarre, and this is way before anything else. But I went skiing with our buddy Pork Chop, and then my law school roommate JT.
Yeah,
and we go to Park City, and we ski.
Great spot.
And we had a few pops after the day, and we're walking through the village, and I don't know who said it, but somebody said, "Let's go look at real estate." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm a third-year law student. John's a third-year law student. Pork Chop, he may have been in business school at Wake. I don't know, but we had no business. And so we walk in this place and we start talking to this nice lady. She says, "Hey, I got a condo for you." And it sounded like one of these timeshare deals down in Boca Punta, some BS place. And she said, "No, really, I got a 2-bedroom, 1 bath over here by the resort center."
Yeah.
$66,000.
Okay.
We're like, do the math. That's $22,000 each. And she goes, "Even better, I'll sell her finance." So we signed the papers and we buy a condo.
Yeah.
And pay nothing. I mean, we may have paid a $500 escrow or something for closing costs, but we walk out that week with a condo in Park City, Utah, that we immediately put on the JT was savvy. He immediately put it on the rental thing.
Yeah.
Never paid a dime, never had to put any money in it. So and then like 2 or 3 years later, after getting married, we all said, we need to get rid of it. So we sold it for like $1.15.
Oh yeah, made a little profit.
Best deal I've ever had. And then they announced that the Olympics is coming.
Oh.
Or they knew it and we just didn't appreciate it. And real estate went out the roof even then for the Olympics.
Man, so, it's all about timing.
Anyway.
All about
now that 2-1 probably sells for like $675 or something.
Is it true that I might have been the first person to actually stay in that condominium before the owners even did?
You might have been there a day before, yes. I think you got out there a little early. But, yeah, I know it was that was a good time back in the old days. And the funny thing is, you'd think I'd be a good skier. But no, I'm a very average at best.
Yeah.
So
that I did not realize that. Well, at least you made a little profit off of it.
Oh, I mean, it's the best deal I've ever made. It was totally blind luck after 3 or 4 beers. You know?
Man. I mean, a $60,000 condo in a ski town? Come on.
It's only been, let's see, 38 years ago or 35 years ago. I can't remember how many years ago. It's a long time.
Man, that's our story of the Salt Lake City area. And I've always said if you fly into Salt Lake City, it's the quickest way to a ski resort, a lot quicker than flying into Denver and going to some of those, which I'm not down. Remember, fun there.
Remember they had the drinking laws.
Yeah.
So you couldn't get liquor except in a certain places. You can get beer and wine in certain places, but you had to join. They had clubs, and you had to join a club to get in to have beer and liquor for your meals. And it was still, I remember, that didn't open up for a while.
You'd order a couple of beers, and when the guy brought the beers to the table, he also brought a basket of nacho chips. I said, I didn't order those. You got to eat them. You don't have to eat them, but you got to have them on the table. That's the law out here in Utah. I don't know if that's still the case. I haven't been to Utah in a while, but I remember at one time.
I think it's opened up. It's opened up quite a bit.
Yeah, they've kind of gotten with everybody. So, good stuff there. All right, so back to the scheduling. We talked about Arkansas, obviously. First 3 weeks have been announced, already making some plans. Alabama, even though they are on ABC, an over-the-air traditional network, whatever you want to call it, it's an 11 a.m. kickoff, Labor Day weekend. Now, Gurn, as you well know, first game of the season also happens to be freshman parent weekend. I don't know who the Einstein was that thought, hey, let's have freshman parent weekend, Labor Day weekend, for a crappy game against East Carolina at 11 o'clock. So I'm not real happy about that. Would I be a bad parent if I said, I think I'm skipping freshman parent weekend here?
No, you do both. You're there. Hey, well, let me ask you this question. You already bought your tickets for the game?
Nope. No.
I do that. Hey, there's some answers we all know the answers to every question.
Wait a minute.
There will not be a ticket purchased for that game.
Bought my tickets? Woo. I don't think so. No. But
I think you're going to be the question will be, I could see you being up there a fair amount in the fall.
Well, I think you could be right.
And that's okay.
I think you could be. I might be up there a little more than I thought, but yeah, it's okay. But at 11 o'clock kick for week one, I'm not happy about. But there's not a lot of great games in the SEC in week one. Of course, Baylor and Auburn's at 2:30 ABC. So you'll have Alabama at 11, Auburn right after that at 2:30. It'll be a good one. And then the night action. You kind of roll in with some games that are, A&M's playing Missouri, Texas State, all these kind of crappy games. Clemson and LSU will be the nightcap on ABC. So you'll have Alabama, Auburn, and LSU, the triple header on ABC. But really, no other.
Let's talk about that game. Let's talk about that game real quick.
All right. Okay.
We need Clemson to beat LSU just to prove there is karma in the world.
Yep.
And look, Dabo, maybe Dabo's lost his touch. Maybe Dabo's not in the real world and not dealing with, playing the way everybody else plays. We need Clemson to beat LSU to show that the world is still on its axis.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Not going crazy, and that you cannot, you have to, karma has to go against people like Lane Kiffin.
I'm with you. I get you there. I think so too, that it would really make the start of the college football season really, really interesting if LSU opens up the Lane Kiffin era at home with a loss to Clemson.
Now, it's not going to happen. They'll probably win by 4 touchdowns.
But what does that do to Dabo, who had a terrible season last year?
Look, every coach outlives their time. Okay. Dabo is one of the most, if you've ever spent any time with him, and I spent time with him years ago, before he was even a assistant at Alabama. He was, well, maybe it was in between when he was an assistant and before he went to Clemson. He was working at a commercial real estate company in the Birmingham area and doing developments like, commercial strip malls and things like that. Great guy, just the best. And, he goes up to Clemson, luckily gets a job. I mean, he was out. He got a job, worked his way up. They fire Bowden. He comes in, has great success. He earned everything he's got.
No doubt about it. Great story.
I personally think he does it the right way, and he's, as cynical as we all are about college sports, he is the best. And, we have a mutual friend who's his first cousin whose family took him in, when times were tough. He had a very bad childhood.
Yes,
and
he did.
He has worked really hard, and I think he's done a lot for the kids he's coached. He's one of those guys, okay? I want him to succeed. I'm not sure he'll succeed in this model, but it would be so awesome if Clemson beat LSU.
I'm with you. And I'm a big Dabo fan as well. Known Dabo many years, and he's a good guy. I'm with you. But I think a win would be huge for him in Baton Rouge. I know I've seen an early line on that game. I just can't recall exactly what it is. I'll look that up because I know they have, here it is right now. 11.5-point underdog.
That's not good. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's a little high. Coach Ed, 11.5. Wow, man. Seems a little high, but I might be willing.
You know why Dabo's still there?
I might be willing to grab the 11.5. That's a lot of points.
You know why Dabo's still there?
Well, he's won a couple of national championships.
No, I mean, still there. It's because South Carolina sucks.
Well,
I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
If South Carolina were good, they would have run it.
Yeah. Probably
They're still even with South Carolina. They're not viewed as being below South Carolina's level.
That certainly helps. That Shane, and I'm still, I wonder if this is a make or break year for Shane Beamer. If they had enough of him in Columbia.
Look, Shane got the job. I mean, Shane was a special teams coach.
Yeah.
That's what he's known for. And that's a big job. South Carolina people, our law firm has we merged with a firm. That was their main office in Columbia. We've got a lot of people in our firm who are USC people.
Okay.
What I found about South Carolina people is that they are delusional. They think they're good. They've always thought they're good. And they've never been good. But they support their team. And they are a great SEC member because they support their team.
Yep.
The stadium atmosphere is fantastic. The pregame atmosphere is fantastic. They're just not very good. And they're not consistently. They can't stack good years beside each other.
Sure.
But it's a big school. I mean, it's got all the attributes.
But
they can't put it all together.
Yeah, I'm just not sure there again. I think the disappointment level of South Carolina fans, they've got to be going, when are we ever going to get over the hump? When are we ever going to be a consistent player in college football? It certainly doesn't help when you got Clemson you got to deal with each and every year as well. But I do think this is a big year for Dabo. Last year, he's admitted it. I mean, it was not good. And I think he's probably had to do a little soul searching to make sure that he gets his program back where his fan base wants it to be. I mean, you look at some of those really good Clemson teams, those national championship teams, they had stud players on those teams. I mean, those guys, it was kind of like Alabama under Saban, but you could just tell these teams when they walked out on the field that they were better right then and there. And I just have not sensed that with Clemson over the last couple of 3 seasons. I hadn't sensed it with Alabama either, to be quite honest. But I think it's a big year for Dabo.
I agree.
I think it's a big year. So that's week 1. There again, the Ole Miss and Louisville are going to play on Sunday up in Nashville, up in the Titan Stadium. I guess they haven't torn it down yet. The new one's not completed just yet. But really, honestly, I mean, Greg Sankey earlier in the week said no more cupcake games before the rivalry weekend at the end of the year. What about no cupcake games the first week of the season? I mean,
no. You got to break it in.
As I said yesterday, all they're doing is rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. I don't want to play any of them.
Do you not remember last year?
Look, I'm not letting 1 year.
Look at what happened to Bama last year. We needed that cupcake game.
Look, the way they played that game, I'm sure I got to think East Carolina would have given them a run for their money last year. Not just Florida State. At least At least they don't have to face Gus Malzahn this year, calling the offensive plays for Florida State. Gus is Bama's kryptonite. But no, I don't want crappy games to open the season. Don't want that.
All right, we're bumping up against the break.
Yep. I got to go. We'll get into the other weeks as well when we do come back. I guess This Phantom's Daily Dog thing as well. I guess I got to get to that too. Yeah, we'll do that. We are 21 minutes past the hour on this Thursday. So glad you are with us. Thanks so much. We appreciate it. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Back with more right after this quick timeout.
The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. If you encounter one wolf, chances are there's a pack nearby. Fortunately, the same applies to beer. Head for the mountains of Bush. The Bush Guide, cold and smooth survival skills. To avoid going in circles, make note of recognizable landmarks, like that.
What's wrong with going in circles?
Different circles, Ross.
Okay.
Head for the mountains.
All right, man, grab a Budweiser and take a knee. It is the best time of the year. It's baseball season. That means sunshine. It means behind-the-back peanut tosses. And it means sharing some cold, frosty Budweisers with your boys. Because there's nothing more American than watching America's game with America's beer. So let me ask you something. Are you ready to bring your A game? Are you ready to cheer every frozen rope down the line and amazing catch at the warning track? Are you ready for pitchers' duels and slugfests? Tell me, are you ready for the thrill of an incredible walk-off victory? I can't hear you. Are you ready for Budweiser and baseball? Then get on your feet, raise an ice-cold Bud, and let's make this season larger than life. Great times are waiting. Get some Bud!
Enjoy responsibly. Budweiser Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hey, you want your property looking its very best this spring and summer, and River Region Straw has premium long needle pine straw to make that property pop. You're not buying sticks, stems, or pine cones. You're buying premium long needle pine straw from River Region Straw. Kenny and his staff have access to the best pine straw in the region, full of color that will last all season long. And now River Region Straw has a 4th location in Chelsea on Highway 280 to go along with their locations here in Montgomery, Prattville, and Auburn. No order is too big or too small, from a few bales to an 18-wheeler trailer load. To get your River Region Straw, drop by any of their 4 locations or give Kenny a call or text today, 669-5959. That's 669-5959, and have the best-looking property this spring and summer with straw from River Region Straw. Okay, back at it here, about 24 minutes past the hour before we get to the Daily Dog. Interesting. There are always interesting comments on the River Region Straw chat line. Way Offsides Jeff here with this one. Doesn't Gus have a losing record versus Bama? I don't know the exact record. I think my point being, were Alabama fans ever comfortable playing a game against Gus? Might have beat him more times than not, but the games were always nail biters. There weren't many. I can't think of many that were like, this one's over. They always seemed to be in it. I remember a game in Tuscaloosa. I think the score, Bama won like 55-40 something. I mean, that was not a pleasant game. That you were, nervous the whole time.
So what's the game? And it's not been that long ago, and I apologize. I'm getting senior moments.
Uh-huh.
But what was the guy he turned into a quarterback? Franklin?
Oh, Nick Marshall.
Nick Marshall. And I mean, truly that was brilliant.
Sure.
Because you sit there and you watch it, and even I don't know anything about football, it's going, we can't stop this.
Yeah.
You just can't stop it. And because we weren't prepared for it. And, eventually it got stopped later, but
I always said that to me, Nick Marshall was a scarier quarterback than Cam Newton. You knew what Cam Newton was going to do. You just couldn't stop it. But you never knew what Nick Marshall was going to do. Never. Was he going to throw it? Was he going to run it? Did they have an illegal lineman downfield? Who knows? But you never knew what Nick Marshall was going to do. And he was quick as a cat. I mean, the guy was just amazing. To me, he was, for an opposing team, to me, he was scarier than Cam. And you're right. He turns a guy that was a defensive back into a quarterback. That was pretty tough.
Cam's pretty damn good, though.
Yeah, he was. But, just something about facing Gus. And, last year when they played him, Gus was calling the plays for Florida State. It was almost like Gus wanted the game to settle in a couple of series, and then boom, here we go. I know how to beat this Bama team. Been giving them fits for years. And it was a lot of misdirection and a lot of fast-paced, and we still hadn't figured it out.
Well, I'll say this. Florida State is still a dumpster fire.
Oh, yeah.
And, if they don't do very well next year, it's going to continue on to be a dumpster fire. And the reason they wanted to leave the ACC was to collect that big check, because they cannot generate the revenue. They don't have the donor base.
Yep.
They don't have the Florida or the Miami donor base. And they are basically in the middle of nowhere, state school with limited resources. And, not the panhandle, but in the curve.
Sure.
And, they struggle. I mean, it took years for their stadium to even be better than Vanderbilt's. It was bad.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They had the longest losing streak in college football at one point in time in the 70s. Yeah, and they're talking about finances, as we did earlier in the show today. That's a school that's got some problems. They got some financial issues. Got a huge debt that they're trying to take care of. That's an issue. People say, why do you want to – Florida State needs to be in the SEC. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Don't need them. Don't need them at all. All right, here's the Daily Dog. Here, look, let's just go ahead and get right to it. Rip the Band-Aid off.
Hey, hold on, John. Before you start,
yeah,
we got some information came in on the text line.
Oh,
that there is a guy in Vegas who spots trends, and he has been – I don't know what this term means. Fading your Daily Dog picks.
Yeah.
And this guy, I don't know what this means. They say in Vegas he's on a heater.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's made a significant amount of money fading your daily dog pick. I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, I get exactly what he's saying. Basically, go the opposite of the daily dog.
All right, let's hear it.
So yesterday we went with a little baseball, mainly because there was no basketball in the NBA. There is tonight, thankfully. I say thankfully. So we went with a game that first pitch was about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It was a game between the Athletics. They don't call them Oakland. They don't call them whatever because they're not real sure what city that they're in.
I think they're in Sacramento, but
I
I'm
think
not
they
certain.
are in Sacramento. Yeah, I think you're right. They were taking on the Seattle Mariners. And, Gurn, we knew things were not going to be good from the get-go because the Mariners put 3 on the board in the top of the first. We had Oakland catching plus 114 yesterday at home after dropping 2 previously, thinking they got to get one of these games. Had a lefty on the mound going up against a righty. Okay, like that. Seattle 3-0 at the top of the first. Oakland doesn't score. The Athletics don't score a run till the bottom of the 9th. But it was too late because it was 9-0 going into the 9th inning.
Unfortunately, they don't have the run rule in
They don't have the run rule, but they were close to it. They were close to getting run ruled. So just wasn't good. There's no other way to put it. It's been a tough stretch here for the Daily Dog, but we're not going to fret. We're not going to walk around with our head down. We're going to grind. We're going to sharpen the pencil, and we're going with a game tonight that we really like. And it is Game 6 of the NBA Western Conference Finals.
It's at San Antonio, right?
It's 7:30 tonight on NBC. San Antonio hosting Oklahoma City. Spurs versus Thunder. The Spurs are a 3.5-point favorite in this game. Total 219.5. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, don't take the under. Don't do it. Don't do it. These games have been flying over the total in this series. Not buying it. Things are getting a little tighter here as we're getting into Game 6. Can OKC clinch the Western Division on the road tonight? Possibly. Will it go to Game 7 over the weekend, which would be Saturday in Oklahoma City? Possibly. But will it be a high-scoring game, meaning over 219.5? No, we don't think so. We like a defensive struggle tonight, defensive battle. You'll know early in the first quarter if this game is trending over or under. So that's a good thing about the Phantom dropping a total on you. You'll get a good feel of how you're going to play out by the end of the first quarter. We're going under 219.5 in Game 6, OKC at San Antonio.
Okay, there's a maxim we all know.
All right.
It's called doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result.
Yes.
All right, so I'm just going to say that. All right, I need to ask you a question.
Okay.
If you're not watching the dog event, okay, say
Yes.
it's a baseball or whatever it is,
Okay.
and you're doing an errand or you're walking around or you're doing something and you go, oh, that game's on. Do you check it during the game? Do you look at it during the game, or do you wait for a completion?
Yeah, I do. I do check it.
Check it.
Yeah.
And you get either a false sense of good or bad,
True.
but but you don't know how it's going to end. So it could go a different way.
Well, that's as I just mentioned. The good thing about this is the last 4 or 5 games, I've gotten a pretty good feeling by the end of the first quarter what's going to happen.
So
in terms of
I just got
total,
another text. I got another text from Vegas that there has been a significant amount of money that has changed, that's gone over on this number, and the number's gone down to 212.5. That much, so much money moved it 6 points.
There's been a lot of action in the last 2 minutes taking the over in the game tonight.
And I think the Las Vegas Gaming Commission has frozen this game to look at improprieties because the level of money that has changed hands in the last 5 minutes.
I think it's actually the Nevada Gaming Commission.
The Nevada Gaming Commission. Yes. I like that. That's good. Well, I guess the question becomes, we've got another week to 10 days.
Yep.
Okay. Before basketball's over with. Okay.
True. That's right.
And then you got baseball as the dog.
That's exactly right.
I'm going to throw a wild card in you. Pool play in the World Cup going with dogs. I'm going to like this. Will Ecuador, how will they do against Iceland in Group 3 or Group C?
This might have come up earlier in the week.
And believe me, there's a line.
About this World Cup business. I am scheduled to be in the basement, so to speak, in a couple of weeks. Which will coincide with this World Cup business.
The thing runs for 30 days. You're not in the basement for 30 days.
No, I won't be in the basement for 30 days, but the beginning of it, I will be. So I don't have to listen to all the giddiness of the World Cup. But I find this interesting. How are ticket sales going for that exhibition match over at Jordan-Hare Stadium? Because I'm still hearing some advertising and promotion.
My God, they've got 100,000 seats.
About tickets.
Whatever it is, it's a friendly. It's not even a real game. I'll tell you this. If it was a real game, the tickets would be going for $700 or $800 to $1,000.
This came up when I made the statement there will be more people at the Morgan Wallen concert in Tuscaloosa than there will be for this soccer match featuring, whoever this guy is who's the greatest player since Pele, who probably won't even play.
Messi will not play. And he is one of the greatest athletes of all time and made the most money of all time and everything else. He's unbelievable. And look, I'm calling it right now.
All right.
We are going to make you a believer. And when the fever hits you, the World Cup fever hits you, you're gonna have to be taking serious medications to get you down with your World Cup fever. It's infected.
They don't score enough. There's just too much.
It doesn't matter. It's the beauty of the game, John. It's the beauty of the game.
I'm told by people I know that live in Atlanta, go watch. They've got a team over there, I believe, Atlanta United or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they love it. They go check it out. It's a fan favorite. They think it's great. I was over in Atlanta last October at a golf event, and there was a guy playing in the tournament with his laptop trying to get World Cup tickets in Atlanta before he teed off.
It's a big deal. It's a huge deal.
Couldn't get them.
People are coming, and look, it's people coming from all over the world who are spending their retirement accounts to get to the United States, to go to these venues where their team's going to be playing. And it's like they know where the games are and where their team is in the 3 different stadiums. And you may be in Detroit one time and then have to go to Oklahoma City. I mean, or Dallas, and you're traveling in between all those places in between games. They're here for it. And it is a huge deal. It's like a Super Bowl every week for like 4 or 5 weeks. And so look, I'm going to have to admit this. It was either on Fox Sports 1 or 2 last night. They had a documentary about the 1994 World Cup, which was held in the United States. I think it was the first time ever in the United States, and that team. And you had Alexi Laos, the redheaded guy with the red hair and beard, and then you had Winalda and all these other Eric Winalda and all these other players. It was really cool. I mean, I'm just saying it was cool. I wish I could make you watch it to just start the process of converting you to a true football fan.
So you're telling me that throughout the summer, because I believe earlier this week, it was announced that we're 100 days from the start of college football. So between now and that start time in late August, early September, the only thing I've got is Major League Baseball and World Cup soccer on TV to watch.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But I'm not
summer.
WNBA?
Oh, not a chance.
Huh?
Not a chance.
I mean, that's it. I mean, that's what you got.
There is some on-court bickering going on in the WNBA, I believe. A lot of jealousy, maybe some cat fights, some hair pulling, stuff like that.
Hey, I tell you what, it's like there's sports that you don't think should be that physical. Women's basketball is one of the most physical. Water polo is probably the most physical sport there is because everything happens below the water.
Yep.
You know, and it's bad. We have Gurn Jr. has a couple of cousins that played water polo at Pepperdine, and the stories they tell are amazing.
Yeah, I've heard there's a lot of kicking, scratching, clawing. I guess that's why they have to wear those little things over their heads, people yanking at the ears and stuff. You got to be a great athlete. I mean, treading water that long and then somebody slings the ball at the other end of the pool and you got to swim down there and get it. You got to be in great shape to play some water polo.
You do.
There is no doubt.
The fact that water polo came up on Longshore McKnight, another first.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you run set plays in water polo? I mean,
absolutely.
How do you coach that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And not to be confused with on land, water polo is very similar to team handball, which I watched at the Olympics in Atlanta. That is a fabulous sport. We don't do it well in the United States, but the Europeans do it great. And it's a ball and you run and I mean, it's physical and, you know, not to be confused with Australian rules football, which we used to watch on ESPN.
Is that still a thing? Is Australian rules football?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's lost its favor because you know they just showed it because there's no content back in the
early days of ESPN. That's all they had. No doubt.
What you have is all these Australian rules football players are going to these academies in Australia, and then next thing you know, they're punting in NCAA football in the NFL.
Yeah.
So
I quickly, before we move on to our next break and then get to the topic wheel.
Sounds good.
Week 2 of the SEC is, I think this is interesting. Alabama travels to Lexington to take on Kentucky in week 2. The two of us have actually been to Lexington to a game.
We went, we flew private. We flew private to Lexington. And on a boondoggle.
Yep.
And it flew right in, went to the game, came back.
It's beautiful.
That was about as good as you can do that game. It's right there close to the stadium. It was fantastic.
It was nice. 2:30 ABC, Alabama and Kentucky. Interesting. Arizona State and A&M will kick it off at 11 a.m. on ABC. Then the Bama-Kentucky game at 2:30. Auburn hosting Southern Miss. It will be their first game at Jordan-Hare of the season because they'll be in Atlanta at Mercedes-Benz Stadium taking on Baylor in week 1. And that Southern Miss-Auburn game is either at 6:30 or 6:45, depending on either if ESPNU or the SEC Network gets that game. That's the week that Arkansas and Utah play at 9:15. And then week 3, Georgia at Arkansas at 11 o'clock. That's that game that the athletic director wasn't very happy with. I thought this was interesting. NC State at Vanderbilt on the SEC Network. I mean, I think they give them a little more love with NC State and Vanderbilt. Not great, but better than some of the other matchups.
So did you see about Vanderbilt's freshman quarterback that they flipped from Georgia? Did you see what part of the deal was?
What was that?
Nate Bargatze, who's the comedian extraordinaire from Nashville, and I actually knew his uncle. His uncle used to be an assistant basketball coach at Vanderbilt, and that's why he's such a big Vandy fan. He promised the kid a cameo in this movie that has just come out.
Yep.
So Jared Curtis supposedly has a cameo in that movie.
Sweet.
That just came out. So
Man, that's pretty.
Pull out all the stops.
Yeah, hell. In this day and age, you got to. No doubt. Bama and Florida State's at 2:30 in week 3 on ABC. Auburn and Florida at 6 o'clock. That'll be a great one. John Summerall coming into Auburn. A lot of Auburn fans think he should be the coach over Alex Golish. Little pressure there if Summerall can come into Auburn and win in week 3 at night. That's also the same night that Lane Kiffin returns to Oxford, Mississippi. That's a 6:30 kick on ABC. That's going to be an interesting night of football, to say the least, in week 3. Looking forward to that. All right, so we got baseball coming up, regionals, Auburn, Alabama, Troy, Jacksonville State, Alabama State. That'll begin tomorrow. Tonight, the Lady Tide softball team going up against the Bruins of UCLA. I believe that's a 6 p.m. first pitch from Oklahoma City tonight. I'll have to check that out to see how that plays out. That should be good. And some NBA Western Conference Final playoff action as well. And I guess the Braves are playing tonight too. I guess, you know.
I can't believe you didn't mention they lost to the Red Sox yesterday. Got blanked.
Yeah, and the reason I didn't, because I was really close in picking Boston yesterday as the daily dog. I didn't. I should have. I'll learn one day. But, yeah, they did get beat. It's a lie. You know, that does happen. With 163 games or 62, however many they play, you're going to drop a few. It is going to happen. All right, let's take our last break of the show today. We'll get things lined up, ready to go for the Gurn Jr. Victoryland 777 topic wheel. We'll do that. Let's slide out for just a moment. Don't you go anywhere. Back right after this. Known by avid golfers as one of the most beautiful and challenging stops on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail, Cambrian Ridge in Greenville lies just 40 miles from Montgomery. It is well worth the ride for any golfer looking for 27 holes of jaw-dropping golf. The greens have been redesigned to accommodate the higher green speeds associated with their installation of the latest generation of ultra-dwarf Bermuda grass. Cambrian Ridge offers a fully stocked pro shop with all the latest equipment and apparel. Great food and beverages in the clubhouse can be enjoyed both before and after your round. Get your group together and hit the trail. Go to rtjgolf.com/Cambrian Ridge for tee times and more information.
Get below employee pricing and save thousands. Enjoy prices even lower than what we pay with Stivers Ford Employee Pricing Plus. Up to 20 grand off F-150s or 10 grand off Mustangs.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Get below employee pricing and save thousands. Enjoy prices even lower than what we pay with Stivers Ford Employee Pricing Plus. Up to 11 grand off Broncos and Expeditions or 8 grand off Explorers.
Stivers Ford, where price sells Fords.
Drive away in a Ford F-150 or win your share of $25,000 in free play during Victoryland Casino's Truck and 25K free play giveaway. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Visit our Players Club and check out this month's exciting free play promotions. You'll have more fun at Victoryland Casino, where you can be a winner too. Victoryland Casino, off I-85 exit 22, Shorter, Alabama. Drawings May 29th and 30th. Must be 21 or older. Must be present to win.
Okay, we got about 12 minutes or so until the top of the hour. What do you say we get that wheel kind of lubed up, ready to go? WD-40 on it. See what is on the topic wheel. 6 topics. We have not seen any of these. We're seeing these topics for the very first time, as you are, and we'll try to break it down and see what it's all about.
Making history. Now that's interesting. Let's see who's history making.
Making history.
Oh, he's pitched 4. This is the kid from the Phillies.
Yep.
Who 44 and 2/3 inning pitched, scoreless.
Man,
that's freaking amazing. Christopher Sanchez. Absolutely. He is smoking hot. That's Think about
Obviously
that.
so. I mean, gee
Think about
whiz.
that. That is almost 5 games, if you think about it. And it's it's a record from like 09. And when I say 09, I'm not talking about 2009. I'm talking about 1909.
Wow.
Yes. It's pretty amazing. So that's like 5 straight games.
Let me do a little checking here. While we're at it, just curious. So this guy basically 5 games scoreless. They are knocking on the door, only 8 games back of the Atlanta Braves. Just think about that, folks. The Phillies just 8 games back in the NL East of these Atlanta Braves that everybody seems to love around here.
Long way to go.
Yeah.
Long way to go.
Yeah, it has been. Ooh.
I don't want to steal a topic, but there was something else that happened last night in baseball that was I watched actually happen. Go ahead.
Let's see
Let's
if
spin that thing again.
Let's see if it's on the wheel. Let's see if it's on the wheel. All right.
Not the dog. Not the livestock.
Or the daily dog.
Oh no.
What's a bat dog?
It's just a bat boy with a dog.
Oh. Let's see what we got here. All right. Wait a minute. Taking his time. Oh, wait a minute. Did he? Oh.
Oh.
Wait a minute.
Oh, no.
This is a major league? No, this is
this is minor leagues.
Okay.
This is Tulsa and oh man.
Northwest
now,
Arkansas.
That sucks.
Yeah, that's no good.
That sucks.
Man, unbelievable. Pretty good crowd.
Now, you
for
probably
minor
don't
league
have
game.
this experience in your house, but we have cats in our house, and they're always under my feet.
Yeah.
So the middle of the night bathroom run is always touchy because they're at the feet.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, it's not like that guy, landed too awkwardly
kneecap
on
injury.
it.
Wow.
I mean, give me a break. I mean,
hey, buddy, how'd you get hurt?
Dog
avoiding a dog.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is very tough. Hate to see
That's
that.
tough.
Not good.
Pet injuries. All right, hey, let's take a moment and acknowledge what just happened.
Okay.
We had a sports and an animal wheel topic where
Pretty
two
good.
worlds came together as one.
Pretty good. Pretty good. We got the animals and the sports take all together.
And so it checked both boxes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, red,
here we
yellow,
go.
green, and blue are what are left.
I think I know what swept up is, unfortunately. Best Schwabs.
Wait a minute. I thought that guy was
Kyle
a broker.
Schwarber. Who is this? Oh, Charles Schwab.
Okay.
So that's my man Ludwig Aberg, who is so good. So, John, have you ever watched him swing a golf club? Really watched him swing a golf club?
Yes. Awesome.
There's only one word that describes it, and that's butter.
Butter.
I mean, his swing is so smooth. Look at Ricky. Ricky's
saw
one of
that
the
too.
best
Man,
bets
Ricky-
this week. That's interesting. I mean, and then, all right, now this Rio Hisatoni guy, he has been in the top 20, I mean, so many times. It's crazy and don't really know. And then also JT's doing better. But who would have ever thought 20 years ago we'd be doing fantasy bets on golf?
Well, I would not have thought so.
So, I mean,
I remember hearing for the first time I was in Vegas, you could wager on NASCAR. I thought, really? That surprised me. I don't know how popular wagering on NASCAR is today. I'm sure there's some people out there that enjoy it.
Yeah, but it's not what it used to be.
The golf wagering is certainly gotten very popular. And one of the things that I think makes it popular, I'm not, doesn't really do much for me, but you can wager on what a player will do on a particular hole.
You can bet anything. And that's what, and that's where some on-course behavior.
Yeah.
Excuse me. On-course behavior has been you can impact what's happening in a game. You can't impact a football game in the stands.
No.
You can impact what happens on a golf course in the ropes.
Sure.
You got your phone.
Yeah.
You can make the bet, then you can yell on the guy's backswing. I mean,
I hadn't really thought about
ridiculous.
that, but yeah, I guess you get thrown out, but hey, could be good. You might win your wager.
That's right. Unfortunately,
and he hits it in the drink on a par 3 because you screamed right on his
mashed
backswing.
Mashed potatoes, or whatever the hell they scream.
What is it about golfers that have to have quiet and stillness? I always
it's called trying to focus on the matter at hand.
Well, I've heard baseball aficionados say, well, the ball's coming at 100 miles an hour and the fans are screaming and hollering. They seem to be able to hit it. Well, maybe 20% of the time they're hitting it, but
we have decorum here at Bushwood.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, there's no kicking and screaming.
Three to go.
Let's see what we got. Yellow, blue, red. That's what's left on the wheel. Let's see what we end up with here. I believe it's going to be on the blue panel. Good owner. Good owner. This could be a pet story too. No. The owner of the Knicks.
So, all right. Very rare that you see a good headline about James Dolan.
All right.
Okay. James Dolan is an ass. Okay. He just is. He's very successful.
Sure.
He's also, I think he's behind the Sphere, right?
Okay.
MSG, and he's behind MSG in the Sphere, and he's done extremely well. He's taken some chances.
All right.
Do you know what else James Dolan has done? Everywhere that he has a facility, they have the identity software.
Okay.
So when you walk through the door, they take your identity and they match it against a database. Okay.
Oh.
And if your picture appears, like, say, in the website of a law firm that has sued him or his companies, they will deny you entry into the stadium.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And so it's fascinating.
It's amazing they can gather that information that quickly.
Like that. And there have been, Radio City Music Hall, same thing. You can be going in there and they look at your identity and on facial recognition. So it's crazy.
Man.
Now, the Garden of Dreams Foundation gives tickets to community-based organizations across five. That's really cool because it is impossible to go to a game. So, I applaud him for that. And guess what? It's a big freaking deal that the Knicks are in the finals.
Oh, there's no doubt.
That is just like
NBA loves that.
Any of the iconic franchises, the Celtics, the Lakers, anybody, and these are premium seats too. I mean, so yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I'm excited for the Knicks, and I like the Knicks.
I like them. They're fun to watch. I said that about a month ago. Man,
I
watch
think they're
out
solid, and Jalen Brunson
this Knicks team. They're good.
Jalen Brunson is the real freaking deal.
Yeah, he sure is. All right, two to go.
Dallas never should have let him go.
Nah, that's true. Blue and red is what's left up on the wheel. Let's spin it and see what comes up here. We do have to spin the wheel.
Swept up. I have this has feel with the Cavaliers. Is this Cavaliers?
The Athletics. Ooh, no.
Oh no, Golden Knights. All right, so they won. They swept in the conference. They beat the Avalanche.
The Las Vegas Knights.
Yeah, they beat the crap out of them and swept them, and they're like, I want to say in there, is there something in it? I think they're 11-1 or something since they're like 11-1 in the postseason. Yeah, they're.
Oh, gee whiz.
They're 11. Yeah, so they it's pretty amazing.
Man, no kidding.
Pretty amazing. Isn't it so fascinating that sports franchises never could be in Las Vegas, and now you're going to have 3.
What's with the NBA? I mean, why aren't they out there? They play the summer league in Vegas.
They do, and they also play all these. They have all these tournaments there.
Yeah,
both high school and college tournaments there at the same time, and they've got all these different facilities that are even south of town. When's the last time you were in Vegas?
Oh, probably 5 years ago.
Yeah, totally different.
Yeah,
they've really made it into more of a destination, non-gambling destination place where they realize that not everybody wants to gamble.
Yeah,
everybody wants to spend money.
That's true.
And so they're making it where you spend your money there, and so they've really amped up the restaurants, the sporting events, the concerts, things to get people there to spend money. And that's been brilliant because, there are a lot of places that, tourism dollars are fickle. You got to have a reason. You got to have a reason to go. All right, last one.
Last one. What's it? What we got on the wheel? Last one. Rough start. Rough start. What could this be about? Maybe some NBA games the Daily Dog's been a part of. Let's see what we got here. Rough start.
You talking about for the Braves last night?
Yeah, man.
Are we going to see a highlight, a sloppy play highlight?
Oh boy, Braves. I guess they can't win them all. They get beat. Here we go. Ooh, what happened here? Oh man. Play at the plate. No. Out? What?
Huh.
Well, the Braves lose, and that's the most important part of it. Can they lose again today?
They didn't lose. They got smoked.
Yeah. Well, so did the Athletics yesterday too, so I can't say too much. Hey, Gurn, I always appreciate you hopping on. I know Barry does.
Always fun, guys.
Troy baseball. Barry, schedule will be back tomorrow on the show. Rodney or the Tighter Insider tomorrow. Make a note of that for everybody that might have thought it was going to be today, but tomorrow for Rodney. And thanks to Jason Caldwell from Auburn Undercover, as always. Thanks to you, everybody on the River Region Straw chat line. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. We will talk again tomorrow.